Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Design Build Central. I am one of your hosts, Bill Milholland, and I'm here with my co-host.
My name's Bruce.
And we are...
On video? Oh,
on
sorry.
Video. See, I was going to tease that a little bit first. I was going to say we are Design Build Remodelers, and we just happen to host a podcast.
Yes.
For Design Build Remodelers. But now that the beans have been spilt all over the floor, what else is new today?
Well, if it's video and audio, is it still a podcast? Do you know what I mean?
That's a deep question, Bruce, and I hadn't.
Should that be the subject of our podcast?
I'm
video
pretty sure no.
Okay.
But for anybody out there that wants to see us, and the wizard behind the camera and the lighting has been working very, very hard.
This is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And we don't look that good.
No, we don't. And so we're like at a little table.
I really wish all his hard work had better results, but this is what you get. So what do you want? Anyway, today we thought that hopefully this will drop towards the end of 2025, right?
Yep.
And some of the things we've talked about in the past, we're doing some planning for 2026, more from the, sort of financial side, setting sales projections, lead projections, gross profit projections, all of those different sorts of things. But we thought we'd talk a little bit today about some of our top priorities for 2026. And I think I have 350.
Business-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep it to that.
All right.
Car lift is personal, though. But that's a different story. So what we wanted to do today was just talk a little bit about priorities for 2026, the coming year, and some things that, top of mind for us. And I was hoping you might.
Ooh, I get to go first?
Yes.
All right. Go. I had a couple notes. It made me think about, we've been talking about it. But so one thing we've been talking about, as you know, Bill, is better, stronger kind of theme.
Bigger, better, stronger, faster.
Exactly. Every year we all want to be that. Amen. But we feel like it's especially important with the coming year, just given the uncertainty and the turbulence that's in the marketplace. But as I thought more about it in preparation for our video cast, how about that? Did I just drop that in there?
That.
How about evolve? We need to evolve because I feel like if we don't evolve, we're not going to get better, stronger, faster. Yeah. It's all about evolve, I think. The world is, and I'm not saying anything to you because you know this, but to listeners, there's so many differences in the world today versus 3 years ago. The consumer mindset's entirely different. Our team mindset's entirely different. AI and other technologies are entirely different. And if we don't adapt and evolve, we're going to get, candidly, I think, left behind. So I think every part of our business needs to find ways to evolve and take a couple steps forward to make us better and stronger.
That's a good one.
All right. That's the only one I got.
Yeah.
All right. I'm okay. See you guys.
That's a big priority. We better get busy.
You got to follow up on that one. Are you next?
Well, I'll go next.
Okay.
I was a little more in the trench.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay.
But I think it relates obliquely. And the thing that's on my mind for 2026 is opportunities. It's shots on goal.
Yeah.
And to the evolve point, and it's something we've talked a little bit about. I used to watch the 11 o'clock local news. Don't do that anymore.
Nope.
I used to get a newspaper delivered. Don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. I used to listen to the radio. Don't do that anymore. I used to be so excited when a new magazine was coming for something that I was interested in. Don't do that anymore. So it's this, how do we evolve as a business to be everywhere? Because some people still watch the news. Some people still listen to the radio. Some people still read a paper newspaper. But other people go to websites or listen to podcasts or consume news on, online in some way. And it's how do we adapt, evolve to that environment, which is such a big, it's just fractured.
Yeah.
We used to be able to get in front of a big audience, and now we get in front of little tiny audiences in a bunch of different places. And that's sort of top of my list to be noodling through.
And hard.
And teasing a future topic, which is change.
Yes.
How do we all adapt and evolve in an environment where it's all of these little tiny things that we've got to be everywhere.
Because it is going to take us all, because I think you and I talk about media companies a lot, and I almost feel bad. I mean, they're just endless amounts, infinity of content that they need to find, evolve, develop. Candidly, we're not that extreme, but businesses need to develop a lot of content now, and it's hard. I mean, I think about, when you say all that, Bill, I think about the money involved, because the budget, we don't have the budget to pay for every different streaming service.
It's impossible,
as you well know. But then there's also equally challenging, and it's the content. Like, what do we come up with?
Right. That's compelling and engaging, and people want to watch, and is consistent with our brand and who we are culturally, and all those different sorts of things. It's a lot of check boxes on that list.
Right. Okay.
All right. What else we got?
Okay. Do you feel that I should go sort of high level again, because I can go there, or should stay in the trench?
Spin the wheel. Dealer's choice.
Okay. The next one, I'm going to go high level again. I'll go not low level. I'll go in the trench with the next.
You go high. I'll go low.
I'll go in the trench if I get another opportunity. But the other word I've been thinking about, not just word, but focus areas together, that I think in times of, again, turbulence, uncertainty, at least what we're experiencing, that I think it's natural human instinct to sort of take that anxiety and express it in different ways, including maybe against team members, or to point fingers, or to blame, or to, not because we're bad people, but it's just we're human nature. And I think that at Case, and I would think most teams and companies, if we don't work together, I picture a sports locker room or something like that. If we're not all sort of focused in the same way, in the same direction, pushing the wheelbarrow, it's going to be hard to get to where we want to go. And everybody's different, so that's fantastic, but we need to find ways to work together. And I think from a cultural perspective, I think that's a critical, it always is critical, but I think it's more challenging in tough environments.
I totally agree with that. And I think the wrinkle that we deal with is that it's a team of individuals. It's almost like there's individual sports being played. It's the Olympics, and it's the floor exercises, and all those ladies are competing against one another while also representing the United States. And it's kind of sort of the environment we deal with project developers, right? That they sort of eat what they kill. That's how they get paid. And so it's difficult to build that team bond in that way. And it does sometimes break down and need somehow some corralling and some, just readjustment maybe.
And I think to your point about the breakdown, I guess it's a matter of the amount of breakdown, because I think some breakdown is natural, but also it shows the passion and the energy and the enthusiasm, but finding where is that line? And that's hard to know, at least for me. But,
no, totally agree.
So that was high.
I went
high, Bill. Was that high?
I'm going back into
the
trench. Yep. And one of the things that we've been talking a lot about that we've always paid attention to, but not to the degree that I think we will going forward, and that's close rate. That something as simple as that. And part of that is because, for many years we lived in a world of abundance, right? That there was more than could be done. And it was really triaging, almost like, who's the most serious person here, because I have limited resources and I need to focus on the people that are going to do something. And I think that trait continues. You don't want to waste time, but we've got to find ways to somehow flip over more of those in the middle, thinking about it. Is this the right decision for me? Oh, it costs a little more than I want to spend. Oh, is this the right thing? Or should I move? Should I remodel? Whatever those things might be, and just get better at getting, instead of whatever, X out of 10, get X plus 1, X plus 0.25 out of 10, just to move that needle a little bit, because I think we're seeing the environment isn't going to change radically moving forward. And that's a choppy environment. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not as good. And that in that situation, we have to make more with what we get, And that ties back to some of these self-generated opportunities, past clients. They're going to move forward at a rate that's different than people that don't know us. But for those people that don't know us, how do we craft a compelling story? How do we show the resources we bring to the table? How do we convince that client we're the right people to move forward with? And I think that's just, that's a tool we got to sharpen a little bit going forward.
So we had talked 3 weeks ago or so up at Harvard, the Joint Center for Housing Studies, talked to Thompson Creek. And one thing they said, which I had shared with you, was they don't just look at close rate, they look at average sales per lead. So, which obviously relates to close rate, but hey, if I'm selling bigger tickets per lead I get, my close rate potentially may be a little lower, but yet, I'm doing what I need to do.
Right.
What's your honest take?
No, I think that's an interesting way to look at it, because I think that's definitely true. A $500,000 project is going to close at a lower rate than a $50,000 project. It just is. It's an easier decision maybe to make. Not that any of those decisions are easy to make, but I think it's an interesting way to look at it and sort of balance it out, because you're going to hear that from people. It's not fair that you would compare me
you
to.
Think?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I do.
You already do,
yes,
right?
As a matter of fact.
I wonder too, and we haven't played with that metric yet, but just talking about it. But also I wonder if it also is a way to subtly inspire some self-generated lead efforts, because hey, if you generate your own lead, maybe that counts kind of zero, that doesn't count against it. But yet if you sell a $200,000 project from something you created, that's going to really improve those numbers. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Now that I've been in the trench, are we going to take the rocket back up to the clouds?
Maybe halfway.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to stop on the 5th floor.
I'm going to trick you out, because I'm going to start high and I'm going to quickly jump low.
Oh, I like
sort of like
it.
All
right.
I think easy. Again, these are things that are always important. I know, Bill, between being cynical and easy, those are two like to your heart, right?
Oh.
So to me with easy, I'm starting high. Okay, easy.
Yeah.
But what do I mean by that in the trenches? Clients want the buying process to be easy.
Yep.
Are there ways to use AI? I know you've been doing some of this. The design team have been playing with our project developers, but to make it easy, to show some initial quick ideas. And sure, then we've got to get in the deeper trenches of fleshing everything out, but just to give them a sense of things. Can we make it easier on our team in terms of certain things so that they can move along quicker, better, faster? For instance, our project managers, Builder-Trend has a feature. We use Builder-Trend for production that can pull AI quick updates for clients that takes a tenth, 100th of the time is typing it out by themselves, is another example of easy. So I'm not saying we should lower our standards with the comment of easy. It's more, we're in a world, life is hard enough. And I know I'm speaking to the choir. And, let's make it as easy as possible. Yep. And I think with the tools that we have today, again, AI is a part of that, not the only part, but part of it. Let's look at it as a benefit. I know some people are a little bit concerned or scared of it, but I'm excited about the potential. So what's your take of that?
Oh, I am a big fan of easy. I think anytime you introduce friction to a system, bad things happen. It just slows things down, and objects in motion, right? That if you start to lose momentum, whether that's in a sales process, whether that's in production on a job, it's really hard to get it going again. So anything we can do, and you think about what, as a consumer, you or anybody else will pay a premium for easy and convenient.
Oh, yeah. I go to Amazon every time. I hate saying that, but it's just easy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's easy. Yeah. And it's there the next day or whatever. It's just easy. And you don't check the price or anything. I want the thing. I want it as soon as possible. I don't want to drive somewhere to get it. Easy. Right. So anything we can do, I love that idea. I wish it was easy to achieve. Yes. See what I did there?
I do.
But I think it's got to be top of mind, and I love it as a priority.
And certainly we're no different. I mean, when we work with subcontractors or suppliers, the ones that make it easy, that help us, that answer the questions quickly, that are
totally agree.
Easy, we use.
And an example of that, we work with a fabricator for countertops. And when we get a quote from them, they don't send us, it's going to cost X number of dollars for that project. They send us like a matrix. and said, based on your selection, here's how much. But if you select this instead, it's this much, or this instead, it's that much. And so now you've got all of these options you can present to a client. If you're in a budget, sort of situation where you're looking for ways to save money, now you can propose, well, if we did this instead of that, you save $2,600, or, that other material we looked at, that's an additional $1,800, whatever. We don't have to go back to them. We don't have to beg and plead for them to provide another proposal. It's all in one. Perfect example of making it easy.
Just to beat the easy thing to death, but another thing we've been trying to work on in this climate is we have a very structured process that's been followed for many years. We adapt it here and there, but it's evolved, but it's a very structured process. Is back to easy. Some clients maybe, or we don't, or clients don't need to go through every step. For instance, what can we do to make it easy? If a client's ready to go to step 2 rather than step 1, can we do that in a way that doesn't corrupt the end product or service we're going to give, and really look at those internal processes? So,
And back to that evolve, let the client make that decision.
You can, I like that. Back up again.
Way up there. All right, so I'm going up high this time. I'm going to join you in the clouds.
Are we allowed to do more? I thought, was this top 5?
Oh, that's all we got? I had my own personal top
This is
5.
A bonus round. How about,
I don't know about that. All right, I'm going to combine them all into one then. Because I had technology in general.
Okay.
Because I think we are going to evolve to be as much a technology company as we are a remodeler, unfortunately.
As much as we are marketing, like you said earlier.
Exactly.
Being
all of that sort of stuff. Kind of along the lines of your easy is time. I think time matters, and anything we can do to make it easy, convenient, faster, or slower, depending on the pace the client is most comfortable with. I think we just have to be sort of chameleons and aware that time matters. And for some people, within boundaries, time matters as much as money. If it costs a couple extra bucks, but I get it sooner, I'll pay the couple extra bucks. And then the final one is that we've talked a lot about in the past. And again, in a world of abundance, you can make things up. I mean, like you can regain lost ground in a way that you can't when you don't have that same abundance. And we're operating in a world where there's enough, but there's not an abundance of enough. And I think in that world, GP% matters more than ever. And I think the other thing about GP% that we've discovered is that GP% is not just an indicator of, yay, the business is performing well, that job performed well. It's the best measure we have of client experience.
Right.
That if GP% is good, is as it was, estimated to be, that job ran smoothly, it ran on time, pieces and parts came in at the right stage. The client is usually happy if the job makes money.
Right. And to me, time was your sort of second point there. And the third was GP. To me, I think you'd agree, they're kind of the same.
Absolutely.
In other words, if we start and finish a project efficiently, time, that's a good thing. And the other thing with time, and I know you know this, Bill, but just to share with the audience, when you've talked to the sales team, they've said one of the biggest challenges is getting the client's attention. So some of that, I translate your point of time into, yes, the more we can move efficiently, effectively through the process for the client, make it easy. But also, if getting their attention is the toughest thing, because everybody's busy, everybody's got a lot going on. And so if we can keep their attention and, get in front of them effectively, quickly, as opposed to, you got to wait 3 weeks for this before the next step. That's
absolutely
too long.
And keep them engaged and make good use of their time.
Yes.
Plan for that meeting, have an agenda, make sure you get the things done you need to get done while you have their attention. Is just something that's really important right now.
Wow. I'm like overflowing. I mean, that was quite a finale, Bill. That was like the fireworks.
That was the fireworks at the end. Wow, yeah. So that was the grand finale. Thank you very much. So I think that ties a bow on. We got it all figured out for
I think we threw out the money's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, but what did we say 5 at the start? I know you and I talked about 5.
We said top 5.
We did.
But I took that as my own personal top 5.
It's all about you, Bill.
It is all about me, right? Easy. So anyway, whether those top 5 are your top 5, you people out there in the audience, or not, just spend a little bit of time thinking about what those things are. It's going to vary business to business, situation to situation, but think about it and then write it down on a piece of paper, tape it to the monitor in your office, something to just keep it top of mind and chip away at it. It's not something any of us are going to solve in, a day, a meeting, an event of some sort. It's going to take a little bit of effort. But the good news is if you focus on them, the chance of those things coming through are a whole lot better than if you just leave it chance.
Yep. And regardless of what the world does on the outside of our walls of our business, it will make us better.
Exactly.
Even if things suddenly get fantastic or not,
we can control what we can control.
Amen. And as somebody who works with us says, if not now, when?
Yeah.
Right? Now's the time to be doing these things. So
Yep. Totally agree. So that is it. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, you want to leave us a review maybe.
A positive review? We only take positive.
I understood in that. From now on, leave a review means only good ones. But anyway, drop us a line, dbcentral@casedesign.com. That is dbcentral@casedesign.com. And I guess we will see everybody on video in the next one. See you soon.
See ya.